I ain't
Welcome
never.
back to another edition of, whether you believe it or not, Traits Triumph by way of What's the Play Productions. We know it's been a while, but we decided to come back for some draft content. I'm Christian here with Brian and SportsFan, and looking forward to talking about the 2025 NFL draft season. We're gonna get it started with a mock draft, and then in the next few weeks we'll have position breakdowns, more mock drafts, more position breakdowns, leading up until the NFL draft that is in April, if I believe. So looking forward to that. And so today we're gonna do a what we would do mock draft. I believe Sportsman has the first pick. I have the second pick. Brian has the third. And we tried to make sure that we all have our own teams. You can see who their teams are. I don't have my team's logo on because we're the most successful and we don't need to brag. You watching the Commanders, so I would be picking late 29th for my team, the reigning uh, divisional round best performance in the playoff. Yeah. But yeah, so we can get started whenever they're ready. Sportsman has the stream up. We're drafting using PFF's mock draft database and using the free version because we're single men working full time jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. And we don't get paid for this yet, so not
yeah.
paying for the subscription right now. But I can tell you right now, if I'm the Titans, in my head, I would pick a QB, right? But at the same time, Abdul Carter is probably, in my opinion, the best. I'm gonna phrase that because I don't think the best football player in the draft. I think the best football player in the draft is Travis Hunter, but the most impactful is probably going to be Abdul Carter. Um, so I'm deciding between Cam Ward and Abdul Carter. Now, in my head, I think they'll probably take Abdul Carter. Now, I just want to, in my head, I'm thinking, how do you sell your fans on another season of Will Levis? I think that's really the main thought I have in my head.
We here for the
Uh,
memes, man.
they got to bring another vet QB or somebody to bring in, man. It could be Russ. It got to be somebody. Rogers. Somebody. Anybody. To at least give the fans something to buy tickets for. Because another season Will Levis, man. That's tough. But on the other hand, they draft Cam Ward. He's gonna die. That team is not built for success. As we spoke, I think about last season about that Titans line. It's gonna get somebody killed, and it got Will Levis killed and memed. He had some hilarious moments while under pressure. So, I mean, honestly, that might sell tickets. He was doing some things. I think week one he had the underhand toss for a pick six, and he put his hands on his head in shock. I think, yeah, man, you can sell tickets with that. So I'm gonna take Abdul Carter,
Oh,
which is I know the easy comp is Michael Parsons, but he's one of them type of defensive playmakers. So next on the clock is the Browns.
Abdul Carter. All right, so for me, as the Browns,
Hold on, real quick before you start. I forgot about Bill Carter. He is one of the most. I'm gonna watch my language because I don't know who's gonna watch this, but he is one of the most vicious riders I've seen in my life. Some of the things he said about the Eagles is ridiculous. Ridiculous. If you don't believe me, go to his social media. The things he tweet, like he's not a future NFL prospect for a completely different team because he's not gonna be in the Eagles. But he tweets like he's about to be in the Eagles next week, and it's really ridiculous. But
not
I'm gonna leave.
immediately.
But at least
He'll
not within
sign
the
there.
first 5 years of his deal. Maybe after that, but
If he forces his way to the Eagles, then he's literally. I ain't gonna give no analogies on here. It was not gonna be nothing good. So I'm just go to the Browns pick, man.
So I'm the Cleveland Browns. I'm in a very difficult position.
mm-hmm.
Because I've signed myself up for Deshaun Watson contract.
Hmm.
And there was an earlier way out prior to them reworking that extension last offseason. And so I think most of the people are saying that, they'll still draft a quarterback this year, or at least that is what is expected. But if I'm the Browns, I'm thinking Miles Garrett already wants out. I don't know if Cam Ward or Shador Sanders is going to necessarily convince him to stay because he's seen the different quarterbacks come into that building and it just doesn't pan out. Baker Mayfield came into that building, looked like he rejuvenated things and then fell off, and then he's gone elsewhere to have much more success. Deshaun Watson, a Pro Bowl quarterback before he gets there, has his own personal struggles, comes there and messes everything up for the team. And so for him, I don't know if Cam Ward is necessarily convincing him to stay. But I do think that Cleveland is self aware enough to know that they're very likely to be bad again next year in a much more QB loaded class where they may not necessarily have to have the number one pick to get a better quarterback prospect than Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. So for me, like SportsFan was alluding to, the best football player in the draft is on the board. And it's very difficult for me to say no to a potential wide receiver one, cornerback one. However they view him, Travis Hunter, come on down. Put him next to Denzel Ward
Hmm.
or put him on offense for whoever's throwing that ball.
Put him next to Jerry Judy on offense, and Jerry Judy just had a career year. So either way, they're built for success on the offense or defense, depending on what they think he'd be better at or more suited. I mean, that team. I mean, that whole that franchise needs some type of hope. I don't know if Cam Ward's bringing that. So
Yeah. All right. So we got the Giants at 3. Basically, kind of lined up the way you would want it to, I guess, if you're a Giants fan. Because this kind of goes by priority, I guess. Because Abdul would have been third on my board in terms of who I want the Giants to take. Travis obviously being second, so obviously we're gonna go ahead and take the first guy on the list. I think if this happens with Joe Shane, I think he'd be very very happy. So I would probably look to trade down potentially, but most likely at this point with what's on the board, I think the Giants go ahead and just take Cam Ward here, and
you think? Quick question. You think they trade down if even if the draft went this way, like it looks like this?
it. I don't think they would trade too far down. Like I don't think they trade past maybe like 7. But if it falls like this, they're probably not trading down at all.
You're saying.
I think they'd have to grade the two quarterbacks or whoever the three quarterbacks, whoever they grade, they probably have to grade them all similarly. But they have like Cam. If Cam Ward is like a distinct QB1 on their board, I doubt very highly that they would trade back,
You
even
said
with
three
the
Q.
additional assets.
And that's what
Even
it's
with the
Who's a
additional assets.
yeah, I'm about to say, and
who's the
that's what
third?
it's looking like. If they're looking to trade
Who's the
up to
third one?
1, so
Yeah.
Bruh. Different boards. Brian
No,
Dable might have his type.
I don't.
You know his
I
type,
don't
man.
know.
You know
I
his
think
type.
we all I think we all three of us agree on who the quarterback would be that fits Dayball's system the best. But obviously, given the scouting and everything, he's not getting picked at 3. So
Yeah, heck no. Yeah, I mean trade back sounds great in theory because you'd be getting additional assets, but then you could be potentially taking yourself out of position for a quarterback.
yeah,
And
so
the front office made it very clear that you have to address quarterback and make the playoffs. It's not one or the other.
yeah, it's
Even
both.
if they make the playoffs with Drew Lock, they might still lose their job somehow. So
I feel like if you make the playoffs with Drew Lock, that should secure you at least 2 years. But
I
hey,
um,
mean,
not for Joe Shane. Maybe for Dable, not for Joe Shane though.
in my honest opinion, everybody should have been fired after the second Saquon Barkley got that trophy. But it is what it is. Everybody's
Bro, that
still
was
there.
Joe Shane's fault.
that's
Joe
on Joe,
Shane.
man. Brian ain't
I
had nothing
Man,
to
watched
do
Hard
with that, man.
Knocks. Dable distanced himself from Shane's decision making. Correctly
he
so.
did, and that whole offseason basically killed the offseason
Yeah, all
hard
season
knocks.
hard
But
knocks. We no more of that, man.
couldn't even bring it back, man. They said nobody wants to be on TV doing that shit.
Yeah, but
Had the owner in there crying, man. That's crazy. But to be clear, you say
yeah,
you're
but I
picking
say we'll
Cam
go
Ward,
ahead and
right?
take care of what I know. I've took a whole bunch of time up talking, so
Oh no, you're good. Now, in my eyes, this right here, the decision is simple. You either get T Mac, um, or
Mm.
right Arizona, or Will Campbell. Now, looking at that Patriots offense last year, they
Mm.
need badly. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, is this a deeper O line draft, a deeper wide receiver draft? In my opinion, I see more O linemen that can be, develop into better tackles. And I don't know, I don't see any other 6'5" receivers moving like T Mac. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's a different type of receiver. I hate giving comps, but man, I can't lie. Mike Evans, Drake London, them type of receivers is what I see when I look at T Mac. So And not only that, what they did last year in the draft, unfortunately, is probably sticking out in their mind when they drafted somebody before our receiver. They drafted the out of Washington.
Polk and
Oh,
Javon
Jalen Polk,
Baker.
yeah. And
Yeah,
then
but
did they take Javon Baker too or no?
Yeah,
they drafted Polk before somebody else that was really good. Though. I'm about to check real quick. Hold on.
Javon Baker, the receiver. Oh, you talking about who they didn't take?
Literally in that draft, they drafted
Oh,
some.
was it
There's a
before
different receiver.
Pearsall?
Man, that might have been before Lad. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you.
They drafted Polk before because that was in the second round. Ladd went I think Ladd went a couple picks before Polk.
You're right. Lad went. Yeah, they traded that pick. They traded the pick to the Chargers so they can get Lad.
Hmm.
Mm.
That's what happened. And then they picked Polk at 37. So yeah, they fumbled that badly.
Okay.
So if you want to know how bad Polk did, just look up Steve Smith's review of his season. It wasn't real complimentary. So I think they got a hit receiver here, man. They had Drake May out there throwing the it's not great guys, man. I think Kendrick Bourne's a solid guy in the room, but otherwise, man, it went downhill real fast in the wide receiver room. So T Mac gives him a target for Drake May. You better develop him. They have to hit the line probably multiple times in this draft, but as you look at their needs, it says guard and tackle for a reason. But the good thing, the defense is still a Patriots defense. Still got a number one lockdown corner, so don't got to worry too much about there. They have some edge rushers developing, some D linemen developing. I think they lost a D lineman last year to I don't want to say blood costs, but some that helped them out for a lot of season. But they got a guy that they believe in, so I'm gonna go with T Mac for this pick.
So it will be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks, since we do know that the Patriots are in on DK Metcalf talks. So
Yes, if that happens, that might also make it easier for me to just get Bill Campbell.
For
But
me,
I'm not believing no draft rumors until I actually see it happens. But go ahead, my fault.
at 5, all I've seen for the Jaguars mocked is Mason Graham, and I don't see any reason to steer away from it. They have a lot of I mean, it's a bad team, so they have a lot of needs. But interior defensive line, being able to get pressure from the interior could really help out that defensive backfield. I wouldn't really call wide receiver a gigantic need where you would reach on like a Matthew Golden, even though I love Matthew Golden as a prospect, but I don't think I would reach and take him at 5. The corners are cool, but at 5, I don't love any of them this early, especially with Travis off the board. So I'm gonna just go Mason Graham, probably second or third best prospect in the draft for me so far. So I go there.
solid pick.
Vegas. Ooh,
All right. So again, kind of like the Giants at 3. I think if you're the Raiders, you're pretty much in the position you'd want to be. Unless they go get, because once the Stafford thing was done, and then I don't think they're in any negotiations with any free agents right now. So I think at this point you just go ahead, you take Shador Sanders from Colorado, let Tom Brady continue to
ooh, boy.
mentor him and steer him throughout the help him navigate
Ooh,
his
boy.
career, so to speak. That seems like the match made in heaven pick right now. So
Man, I would pay good money to have the Hard Knocks be the Raiders,
yeah,
just so I can see Pete Carroll, Tom Brady, Shadur Sanders. I need to see how that will work, cause boy, that it don't sound too good. I'll be honest with you, but I'm fascinated to see it work, especially in that division. Good lord,
man, it's a
that division.
potential upgrade from Gardner though. So
I mean, man, mm, where is he on here? Did I go past him?
nah,
Shadur, he's 47.
All right, Shadur had to be way down here, right? because I didn't see him on this. Hold up.
Yeah, so go just
47.
yeah, I was about to say just go to QB. That's crazy.
Yeah, 47 is. Oh boy, that's nah,
Well,
that's tough.
if it was Madden, they'd say
Jets on
you
the
reached.
shit.
Who's playing quarterback for the Jets?
It's
That's
gonna
what
be
I was
cousin
just thinking.
Tyrod
I
right
don't know.
now,
Hey,
unless
He
they
either
got
trade
way.
up at
Aura though.
one, like people were saying that they're looking to do.
Tyrod got Aura, man. That counts for something. But man, nah, Jackson Dart pick here would be wild. But I can
Insane.
guarantee somebody in this top 12 is going to force themselves to get Jackson Dart. I don't know who. I don't
This
even
early
know.
though?
It might be top seven. Man, after Bo Nix last year, anything is possible in my eyes.
Man, if Jackson Dart goes before like 20, I would be shocked.
You think so? Oh,
I would be
nah,
supremely
they.
shocked because I'm just like I don't. Maybe it's just because I haven't been this tapped in, but like I haven't seen him get the push that quarterbacks usually get because people keep saying like end of the first round. So
Oh, you ain't seen it, man. When Senior Bowl happened, the words I was saying about Jackson Dart, man, it was not matching the tape I've seen. But who am I to judge? Um,
something about that Senior Bowl. Well, I guess I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't say that because the Senior Bowl got Daniel Jones drafted at 6. So
exactly. Um, and it's throwing me off because it says their needs is interior D line. They still have Quentin Williams far as I know, and DB. They're just losing DJ Reed. So I feel like they have more needs than this. You don't lose as many games as they did just with this three needs. Rodgers wasn't that bad last year. Um,
I feel like they need a tackle.
shit, man.
Honestly,
I was about to take Will Campbell. I'm trying to think.
because I
They
I
don't.
know
got
they got.
Olu last year.
Oh yeah, they did take a Hulu.
Is
Because I was
he
thinking about Tyron
officially left,
Smith.
or is Tyron Smith still there?
Um,
I thought it was Morgan Moses on
Monday
the other side, unless I'm wrong.
Olu was filling in for people last year, so I think he got 7 starts in between positions. So I don't know where they're gonna put him next year. But I'm pretty sure he'll be at one of the spots. I don't know if Morgan Moses is a free agent or not. But if he isn't, I've seen him as a name that would be moved. See,
Mm.
Tyron Smith didn't retire.
Nah, man, he's still collecting that check, man.
Tyron Smith, yeah, he's still a Jet, but there's rumors that he could retire. Um, so I guess just be on the lookout for that in the coming days through Cowboys Twitter. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I their old line was bad last year, and I mean, Will Campbell does give you that like potential kick in the guard because people don't love his arm length,
You know
so
what's
that could be an
crazy?
option.
That tackle from Missouri. I'm gonna say his name is I'm pronouncing it Armand. I don't know if the D's have some of them. I'm gonna say it's Armand. He looked kind of nice too. The what the sorry, Derek White just shot an airball out of nowhere. Armand. I don't know. They feel like that
Yes,
that their
that
type
freak
of tackle.
athlete.
That's what I'm saying. Like that type of tackle they would did. They try to do it with Makai back then, and I mean, it worked out for Makai back then because he's a Super Bowl champion now. So you know, either of that, man. I know they've been trying to. I remember they was trying to do that Brock Bowers to the Jets thing. Imagine if they did that though, huh? But they could draft Tyler Warren. They could draft the corner Texas. Man, I'm just so confused by the needs that PFF has listed here. I'm gonna go with Will Campbell though. Push come to shove, man. He can even play guard or tackle at a real high level, and that team needs O line turned so bad. They also need a damn QB, man. I'm actually about to look this up while y'all do the next pick.
Will Campbell. All right, for me, I'm on the board with the Panthers, and they had one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. I'm going to address that by getting a corner either, well, it would be hopefully opposite of J.C. Horn or to replace J.C. Horn because I have seen rumors for them to trade him. Um, so I'm looking at Will Johnson, Michigan, a Michigan man.
Mm.
Will Will Johnson and J.C. Horn. Wow, that's
First
scary.
corner off the board, Will Johnson.
Well, depending on how you view Travis.
First corner off
Yeah.
the board, Will Johnson. Yeah.
I just watched Andre Jones shoot a corner three. I should turn this game off. Go ahead, Brian.
All right, so the Saints. This is
Boy.
man.
Close your eyes and just pick one. Sorry.
Mm,
Oh, they suck.
At least they got their pick. That's a good thing.
that's the biggest thing.
Close your eyes.
They making some form of progress.
So this is
Man,
interesting because I feel like, well, I guess at this point they're gonna keep Derek Carr, but the quit.
At this point, like they got an option.
Well, I assume.
I
Well, the
swear. I
way they were
swear.
talking, some people were
They,
saying they were gonna get rid of him, but
they did that. You know, they do that funky thing they do with contracts to like give them cap space, but it basically like locks them into another year. I'm pretty sure they did that with Derek Carr.
most
Like
likely,
maybe
yeah.
last year.
Because the way it seemed like they were perfectly fine. Well, not perfectly fine, but they were okay with moving on to Spencer at points. I don't know though for sure. Um, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and address what the biggest need on their boards is right now because Chris Olave dealt with multiple concussions last year,
Chill. He's back now.
Spencer Rattler was throwing to me, Chris,
Chill.
JB,
Other
and like a
dude,
whole bunch of other players like late in the season. So
other dude towards ACL. I think. Fast guy.
Shaheed.
Yes. I mean,
It's
receivers
killing
still
me.
need it. I'm
It's,
not taking it away.
it's
But they got guys in the room. Just none of them guys stay healthy. Oh,
I was like, Marcus Valdez
yeah.
Stanley is their starting right wide receiver according to the depth chart. So
yeah,
I mean,
bro.
that's
Draft
not
one of them.
terrible, but
Hold up. I mean, that's a guy on. Yeah, I got nothing.
yeah,
Super Bowl
but
champ. Yeah, I got nothing.
with Ted off the board and obviously with Travis off the board, I feel like I got to go ahead and take the guy who is currently my wide receiver 2, but maybe my wide receiver 3 after we look at a little bit more tape. And go ahead and take Matthew Golden from Texas.
Yes.
Oh,
I he might be my wide receiver one, but
all right.
ooh, what a player!
That's speed, man.
I didn't know he had that. Had
That's what
no
I'm saying.
idea. And he ain't say nothing though. He wasn't talking like them other boys. Just went out there and put the work in.
Exactly, man.
Is it
There was
me?
some.
No, it's not me.
It's me. It's me. The one that Texas guy said run a 4-1. Was that one of them?
Yeah,
Yes,
that
both
was
of them said they was
not
going to
Isaiah.
run.
That was the
Jaden
other running
Blue
back.
and Isaiah Bond both said they was going to run a 4-2 or 4-1.
Yeah, I need to know who was timing them in like their practice because like they should punch them because
It's
like
gonna be funny when they
clearly,
run their pro days.
man, they run a pro, they run a 4 flat or some goofy shit. Um, okay, the Bears, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say they basically addressed their interior offensive line already. So, well, at least their
Which is
guard
good
positions.
because that's good because you don't want to address. You don't have to come into the draft feel like you have to address interior offensive line this early,
Yeah,
especially if Will Campbell isn't likely to fall to 10.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
O
glad they
line.
I'm
addressed that early.
about to say
I
the only other
believe they
guy I
feel
could think
pretty.
is maybe Calvin.
Yeah, I feel like they feel pretty confident tackles they have. So I don't believe Kelvin or Amon is really on. Side note: Josh Simmons, really good, really good. He was hurt, but he was really good.
29.
So those three tackles. I don't believe they need a tackle though. I mean, of course not. I believe they tried to tackles. Interior online, I don't think nobody's like crazy enough to draft this early at this point, outside of Will Campbell, who could play interior. So now I'm looking at their needs back, man. Now I swear What is DeAndre Swift contract? Though?
I think it was like
I
three
mean,
years, 21 or 24. Like it's
I don't
not.
know why I said that. DeAndre Swift has not stopped me from drafting Argentincy. Is that the issue? It's more so is Genty going to help them enough more than another edge rusher? So,
Opposite Montez Sweat.
at last year though, yeah, maybe they do need an edge rusher, huh?
I was saying Austin Booker was good, but I don't think they're gonna have him as the edge rusher.
And this is a good draft to need an edge rusher. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember who their defensive coordinator is now.
Ben is Ben the head coach or is it somebody else? I can't remember. Dennis Allen.
Come on, yes, Dennis Allen. What did he like, and what type of edge rusher he like? That's a 4-3. So they like more bigger edges, not really linebacker. So that really thinking more. What was his weight? You got the weight on here?
I think he
First
was
look,
like two.
260,
Oh, there it is. There it is.
65. Uh, that would do. Like I'm thinking like guys like James Pierce, Mike Green. I don't believe that kind of fits the mold they're looking for. Because like Montez Sweat, man, he's like 6'5", two. Is he 262? 260 something?
Yeah, 260.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
probably
they like
bigger. That was his draft weight, so he's probably even bigger now, honestly.
I say they like their guys be able to set the edge and stuff, not just pass rush specialists. What I think James Pierce and Mike Green is, even though they can set an edge a little bit, I don't believe that's what they're looking for. Um, hmm. the- Let me look at this. I've heard things about this Diamond guy. I heard he's really good. What's his 247? Nah, I ain't gonna cut it. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give Mikael Williams out
I'm
of
about to say we
Georgia.
letting Michael fall down this board.
Yeah, he falling.
You
Chill.
gotta remember the name of this channel, Traits Triumph.
It's about to say, there's a lot of guys with traits that are falling right now.
No production, all traits. Michael Williams, first edge off the board. I love it.
You got the measurables, man.
Hey, that's all you need. 49ers,
This gets
11.
interesting.
I don't like that they're picking this high. But
Me neither.
I think realistically, the offensive line was very bad last year. It didn't look as bad because Brock Purdy is very good under pressure for the most part, but as a scrambling quarterback at least. But you don't always want to have your quarterback scrambling. So I'm looking at a lot of the tackles. I'm looking at Armand Membu. Josh Simmons would probably be an option here, but he's coming off I believe an ACL injury. So his
Correct.
stock is probably a little bit lower than it really should be. But the 49ers are a team that could afford to wait because they do still have Trent Williams and they can just hope that they can manage right tackle for the next year. But and even then, I think Josh Simmons will probably be able to play next year, just probably not week one. And then Kelvin Banks, but a sportsman was saying with Armand Membu, you pick him up, the traits, the athleticism, and you put him next to Trent Williams or behind Trent Williams and have him learn from the best left tackle of our generation. And the 49ers, that outside zone run scheme, he'll be able to move wherever you put him. So I'm gonna go with Armand Membu at tackle
Okay.
for the 49ers.
Yeah, I can't lie. Like to like elaborate, like he would fill in their scheme though. Like 49ers for years like to do outside zone, make their linemen move, really reach block, move left and right on their stretch plays, whatever fast running back they got in. Um, that's why Trent Williams has been so successful. They get him in space and let him really attack that second level. This Armand is what I think he had the fastest 40, at least for his size. I think they was
Yes.
doing comparison. I think the only tackles that like that's around his size and move like them is I think it's literally him, Will Campbell, Trent Williams, and is it Lane? Is it Lane Johnson? It's one other like tackle that's been really, really good. But basically,
I think Lane Johnson the
this is
fastest out of
this
all
is
of them.
a yeah. So he definitely fits the scheme. I think you're on the clock though, Brian.
Should I
Are you
troll and
gonna
take Walter
you
Nolan
gonna
here?
do it? Man, I don't know if that's a troll for real.
I mean, Mozzie Smith was a great pick according to Cowboy fans. So I'm asking, is that should I troll and take Walter here? Um, so
I
the
understand the vision, but
prevailing thought.
I think he got a lot from that. Like,
Is that again?
I said I felt like the guy who said that that was a great pick has learned a lot from that decision.
He is, but it is what it is. So the prevailing thought has been for most of the point, most um basically has been like Ashton to Dallas for like forever. Now I will since this is based on what I would do, I will take CT's thought into account that you do have a guy Enrico Dallo who was pretty productive last year. So it's not like you really need one.
Wow.
Plus there are other
Same.
Plus, there are other things such as the pass rush. Because outside of Micah, you obviously got Demarcus Lawrence who's getting older and things of that nature. You got honestly, if I didn't take Matthew Golden at 9, I would definitely consider him here at 12. Because Brandon Cooks is a wide receiver too is not cutting it. Neither is Jalen Tolbert or Kevontae Turpin. So I feel like there are plenty of options that you could look at. But since this is Jerry, and we know how he likes Heisman winners and things of that nature. Even though he didn't win the Heisman, a guy that was in the Heisman conversation. I think we'll go ahead and we'll take Ashton Johnson here at 12. But again, there are plenty of different avenues they could go, given their needs.
Yeah, but I, I don't know how to explain it, but just based on like I know it's gonna sound like nerd talk, but just based on like the advanced numbers, Genty's numbers is so like ridiculous compared to any running back prospect. I'm not even like in the last like maybe 20 years. Better than Saquon, better than B. John, better than pretty much everybody. It's like he was really good actually last year. I'm trying to remember who podcast I was watching, but they was like Genty should be like one of the best running backs coming up. Everybody was I think talking about dude at Oklahoma State and
Ollie
oh my
Gordon. They were talking about
Alibaba.
Judkins at Ohio State and guys like that. Yeah,
yeah
so Donovan Edwards
and then
too
people were
when
like
he was at Michigan. Yeah.
yeah yeah I don't know how he got on the cover but yeah Genty should have been getting more focus what people were saying and then he came out and had that season and I'm gonna say he was up there with Barry Sanders and like talk so the amount of like long touchdowns he had the amount of broken tackles he had especially for his size is just not normal
Hmm.
so it'd be interesting to see with him and CD in the same offense if Dak can get back healthy again it would be real interesting to see um
They still got to
but
figure out that wide receiver 2 position though.
yeah badly hold up now what's the name not that bad oh my God. It's begging me. I can't remember people's names right now.
You about to make up somebody.
Nah, I was thinking about doing that as a joke, but I'm gonna chill and actually look the roster up real quick.
Well, they did trade for
But
Jonathan Mingo. That's what you were about to say.
right, hell, he sucks. Jalen Tolbert. Yeah, I like Jalen Tolbert, man. He a guy. It's a guy. But no, Jalen Tolbert cannot be wide receiver too, as he's listed right now. The Dolphins. You know, I mean, they're really
Man, don't
back
let
in the
me
same
take over.
spot.
I'm taking Jackson Dart. Get a quarterback with an arm.
With that contract that's sitting on the books.
And contract, schmontract. It's all
Who
gonna
a
get
dick
paid
get
out
that?
anyway.
Yeah, they was wilding with that. That's what I tell you.
Man, he showed up to practice the next day talking about some just give me my money and then drop the mic. I'm like, oh my gosh. They paid this bum and now they stuck. And Tyreek is
That's
wrong for asking for that trade and changing his mind. Why did he change his mind and say he want to stay? It's because he must like living in Miami. That's what it had to
Yeah,
be.
the
Because why
state
would he
income
stay?
tax, as Stephen A. would say.
And
what's up here? Oh, the Dolphins. Let's lock in real quick. I feel like this joint been saying offensive guard tackle for the Dolphins for at least since Tua got there. Tua been there for about 5 years now, so I don't know how they're still in. And they let what's the name walk?
They let Robert Hunt walk
Javon
last
Holland.
year. Connor Williams got
I was
hurt,
talking,
so
I was talking about Javon Holland. So
oh yeah,
this team sneakily has a extreme need at safety, and definitely got needs at O tackle and guard. They probably got need a corner because I mean Jalen Ramsey's still Jalen Ramsey, but he's getting up there now, and then the other corner is non-existent. Uh, Christian Watkins basically walked. Wilkins walked. I like their edge rushers though. They don't need an edge in my opinion. Oh wait, he got hurt, didn't he?
Yes,
Sure,
multiple
this
times.
year, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh, man, this team got needs, man. They got a lot of needs. My lord. Lord. Let me just look at best available, man. This one positional value kind of plays a part because in my head, for their needs, I would take Malachi Starks when you think about it. But as a safety, how impactful is a safety
Love the
on this
same.
team compared to any tackle or guard? I don't know. So now I'm leaning between Kelvin Banks and Josh Simmons because I think what's name's about to retire soon. Um,
Oh,
Armstead
yes, he is about
or
to retire. Yes.
I
Armstead.
think he did somewhat his contract where like it's real easy for him to just retire if he's not gonna play no more and they don't have any money in the books or something like that. But
hmm,
yeah, I don't think
He
Terron
helped
Armstead
them
has
out a
any
lot.
much. He did. He sure did. Me personally, I would not have helped him, but he
At
must
all.
they must treat them well. So and that's why Tyreek's not leaving. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Kelvin Banks because I think they need a guy that's gonna play now. Even though I think Josh Simmons is a better prospect, I just have no guarantee that he's gonna be able to play right now. And I think Miami needs a guy that's gonna play maybe day one because they have a lot going on, and I don't think their QB can hit the ground too hard again. So the next is the Colts.
I like that the draft is going like this. I feel like I'm getting my hands on my teams right here. So the Colts, they giving my boy one more year or one more chance. So I feel like we gotta go big or go home. So this pick, I don't feel like should address defense. I feel like offensively, I don't love their receivers. But I'm not gonna target receiver, right? I'm gonna go with a tight end,
makes sense.
Colston Loveland.
What the fuck,
That's
dude?
that's his
Oh
tight
my
end
god!
one. I mean,
But no, that's come on, man. They got Dallas Clark right there,
they
2.0
do,
right there.
they do.
Yes. All right, man. I'm trusting your word here, but just
I don't
remember,
care.
that him.
All right, so I'm not gonna take too long with this pick because I mean we know what the Falcons need. Um,
Just let me know which one you're thinking. You want me to filter this down for you real quick? Hold
yeah,
on.
just filter it down, man. You already know. You already know.
I had some linebackers. I noticed they got some linebackers that really edges for real.
All
There
right,
you
so
go. Pick your flavor. You know what I'm saying? Wait, that's crazy. Pick your poison, bro.
well, I'm about to say so. We are doing so again. Just to reiterate, we are doing this based on like how we the thought is based on how we would do it. To a degree. So as Chris would say, I got to stick with my board. And right now, my edge two is James Pierce Jr. So that will be the pick at 15.
Who's your edge one?
My edge one is Abdul Carter.
Oh,
Of course.
duh, my
You
fault.
might.
I forgot all about bro.
Yeah, he got drafted so early, man. It's easy to
Yeah, he's not
forget.
really in the same tier. I definitely
He's on a
was
different
not
level.
even thinking about him.
Now, very similar to the Falcons, I also believe, good lord, I don't know why the joint say guard tackle. I mean, in theory, we need one, but nah, man, we literally don't have an edge rusher I really believe in. Now, well, dude from LSU, brother of the
Harold
Giants player.
Perkins or
No, what's the edge rusher on the Giants right now? He's a brother on the Cardinals.
Ojalar.
BJ Ojulari.
BJ Ojolari. BJ Ojolari. Damn, BJ. I'm not even going to try to say his last name again. But yes, he tore his ACL before the season even started. Well, I think he will be a good pass rusher, if not great, when he gets real healthy again. We don't have anybody else. And Darius Robinson, I believe they're going to plan to use him more in the interior than the outside on the edge. So
Makes sense.
Now I'm looking at these edge rushers. Honestly, any of these guys will probably work. Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, Jalen Walker, any of them. Because one thing I've noticed so far about uh Gannon and Nick, our head coach and defense coordinator, they will literally put you know everybody, anyone in the D line to get them in the best of matchup. So I believe any of the guys will probably make work. Now I'm gonna I'm gonna keep it strictly football. So I'm gonna go with Mike Green. But I wouldn't be
Hmm.
surprised if he slides a little bit further due to non-football related stuff. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I like the pick. I think Jalen Walker might be a guy as well that they might look at just because I feel like
But
him and Abdul are similar in terms of like they can
no,
play the edge and they can play linebacker. But
only issue is when the Cardinals have history of drafting guys like that, hybrid guys, and boy, I don't know if our GM can survive doing that. Like our GM tried to do it like 3 different times, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Who was the pick?
it
Mike
was
Green,
Mike Green at
Oh,
16.
legal. Okay.
yeah, you get
Keeping it
it.
strictly football. It's it.
Cincy. Is this me?
Yes, this is you.
Oh, goodness. Whew, was not prepared.
The
But
turmoil.
Mhm.
they franchised T Higgins, and I don't think they're gonna let him go. And let's look.
I say at least not
Gasicki had a
this
good
year.
year for them.
Washington might have a chance next year.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Trey Hendrickson is probably gone. Sam Hubbard just retired. Um, man, Shamar Stewart is probably what I'm gonna go with here. Probably just to address edge. Yeah, you lose Trey Henderson, you almost have to draft a edge rusher round one, unless you can figure out something else in free agency. I don't think they have the money to do that, and their owner's cheap, so
Mm-hmm.
they have to build through the draft. So I'm gonna go with Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, that's why.
Valid.
That's probably why they're like Trey looking for a trade now because they gotta figure out what they're gonna do with that cap.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know enough about Donovan from Boston College to select him over Shamar. They have him ranked over Shamar, so he must be at least kind of decent, but I don't know enough.
Okay. Can I see the wide receivers, JG?
Oh, for sure.
I don't.
It
Yeah,
gave.
I'm about to say I'm looking at it. I don't think they're taking one of those.
I mean, that Jaden Higgins guy, man, he's nice. I think they drafted at 18. You're right.
I'm about to say I don't think they're taking him at 18. Um. So I see the needs. Understand what I'm saying here. I don't know about edge because I feel like they have pretty. I feel like D line and edge is honestly like probably the strengths of their team, at least defensively. So I think with them trading DK, even though they got Ryan Grubb, who I don't think. See, that's the thing because I don't know if they play in this type. They will play this type of offense, but Mike McDaniel did just come from Baltimore, so I'm trying. So yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So I think yeah, because you're gonna have JSN, but after that you already let go of Lockett and you let go, and you're potentially trading DK. So if they were to trade with say the Chargers and get somebody at 22, I think they might be like, all right, we can go offensive lineman here and then go weapon. But I think given the situation and given I think we talked about this before. I think Christian brought it up. I want to say maybe this time last year, but it seems like teams are moving towards more 12 personnel offenses. So I
Mm-hmm.
think this is a situation where maybe surprisingly, given that they're not on this, they're not this isn't a need. I think that they might look at taking Tyler Warren here if he's on the clock.
Mm-hmm. Is that you picking?
That is my pick.
Yeah, I was wondering he's gonna stop sliding on the board.
I
Yes,
don't
yes,
I
yes.
don't think Noah Fan is gonna stop them from taking a tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wouldn't stop me either. That's me, right? Bucks.
Yeah.
They need an edge, man. I feel like they keep drafting edges though.
They do, but none of them are like standing out. But I wouldn't say they need an edge.
Man, but Jalen Walker though, that would look low. And they still got what's the name of head
Jalen
coach?
Walker and Todd Bowles.
That's what
You
I'm
might
saying. That
you might have to make that pick. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Walker with Todd Bowles.
that might go crazy. I can't lie.
It
It's either
technically,
that.
surprisingly, would fit both of their needs because he could play both positions.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he stand up right over the center, and you don't know what he about to do. Ooh,
Exactly.
whoo,
What's up with Chris Godwin?
bro, he a free agent, bro.
I was like, they
They
did
about to
not
figure it
tag
out
him.
with bro. They
I
about to
heard
figure.
they I heard they about to bring him back.
They trying to figure it out. I think, but he coming off that injury that ended my fantasy season, so they trying to figure it out. But I think they prefer to bring him back.
Jalen Walker or Luther Burden. Uh,
Seems like a very easy decision.
Jalen Walker so elite.
But I say value
Defensive
wise,
chess
I think
piece,
we it's
slot
just
receiver.
The traits, man. The traits, man.
yeah.
Dang, I'm about to sprint this next pick in. Is it Jalen Walker? This one?
Jalen Walker
Yeah,
went
for the Bucks.
19. Yeah.
19.
Okay. Well, let me update my draft board. I am currently on the clock with the Denver Broncos. Give me a second. Oh yeah, this the pick. Malachi Starks. I love his game.
Yeah, I was
Hmm.
Denver
about
let Justin Simmons walk. Uh, Probably rightfully so because you really don't want to pay a 30-year-old safety the type of money he was asking for. But he was at the end of the day one of the best safeties in the league when he was there. And they did, kind of miss that last year. Their defense was pretty solid, but being able to have a chess piece who can move, who can tackle, who can hit like Malachi Starks, I would love to add to this Denver Bronco defense. So I'm gonna go with Malachi Starks.
Okay.
One of my favorite players in the draft.
All right. So we have Pittsburgh at 21. I
There's a
think kind of
Pittsburgh pick
expect.
right here.
Say it again. My fault.
I said there's a Pittsburgh prospect that's on the board that I'm surprised is still on the board. I want to see if you're gonna take him.
Okay. Um. So
You know, it's
we
crazy. I honestly can't guess what he means by that. Because in my head, it can mean a lot of different players. So I'm curious to see what he
It
means.
could, because once I said that, I seen another name that was like, that could be Pittsburgh too. But just thinking of Mike Tomlin, I feel like he would love Kenneth Grant, but I don't think he's
mm.
going to be here.
See,
I'm
you're thinking Kevin Grant, man. I'm thinking Jackson Dart. I'm seeing them
So
doing
see
that
oh yeah,
so
too.
that's
so me and Jalen were kind of
that
on the
stinks.
same page. I'm not taking Jackson
You
Dart.
saying that for me, but they drafted Kenny Pickett, man. At this point, I
That
mean,
wasn't his decision.
Mike Thomas' decision.
No, that wasn't his.
Oh, my fault.
So I
Yeah, that
see,
wasn't.
but no, I see what you're saying, Chris. But I don't think this is going to be a defensive pick. So, it could be, but I don't think it's going to be a defensive pick. So,
Yeah,
like
they
we
probably
said, I
need
think
receiver a
quarterback
lot.
is somewhere you're looking potentially, but I think like Chris said earlier about Cleveland, I think it's a situation where they're like we can bring Fields or Russell back next year, and then look at the 26 class because we all believe the 26 class is probably going to have what maybe 3, 4 first rounders at QB.
Hey, time out. Not the same situation because the Steelers make the playoffs every year. So
But still, if it's 3 to 4
I don't know.
quarterbacks, I'm assuming. Well, then again, we thought people could trade up into the top three, and then we saw what happened in the last year's draft. So let me not say that, but
It's not that easy. Especially when the Steelers, man, because like I said, man, Tomlin got that magic where he'll get you to 9-2, 10-1, don't win another game, but you're in the playoffs though. So,
so I
you
get that,
know,
but I feel like if they're sitting at 20 or 21 like they're doing now, it's not out of the realm of possibility, like Brandon would say, for them to like go all in if they see say like Nico slipped to 4, and they're like we think Nico can be the guy for 10 years type situation.
Nico coming out next year?
I believe he's eligible. If he's not, then I'll take that back. But
Man, he might. I think he is, but he shouldn't come
because I
out,
know
man.
Archer's,
He
I
bought.
know
He is
Archer's
eligible.
eligible. I know Drew is. I know Kate is, and
Yeah,
there's
They
like
are
a
the
couple
same.
other guys.
They the same recruiting class. That's Arch class. Jackson Arnold
Nico Raw.
eligible too, though.
Nico Raw, man. Nico's Raw. He need another year.
Jackson Arnold eligible too.
Hmm.
That's a Steelers pick. I can't even fake. That's a Steelers pick. I'm
What,
not gonna lie
Jackson?
to you. Yeah, man. That's the type of pick. You know who they would love Drew Eller, but I don't know if he's gonna be there at one.
Yeah, probably not at 21. If he's there at 21 next year. But so the thought maybe, I mean, I wouldn't be supremely surprised if they decided to take like Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe or somebody
Mm-hmm.
like that at 21. But I think they'll go, even though Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator, I think they'll go. You probably want a solid second receiving option. So here I will say that they take Emeka, but
Mm.
it's possible that but I could see where they might go D line, like he said, or even go quarterback, like you said, JG.
Gotcha. Charters on the clock.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Well, they did just let go of Joey Bosa.
That's why I'm like, edge rusher is pretty easy. I could take this Boston College guy they're trying to convince me is great here. Or it's too early for Ender. Oh, I mean, Martin Hampton. I mean, I guess that's not that crazy. There's no other tight end that's really that high. But in my head, man, I feel like at this point, I think you go Luther Burden, man. Let me see his height real quick. How tall is he? If I look, man, they make that work, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go Luther Burden because he's not even like coming in expected to be wide receiver one. Lad is still there. He's really good last year. I have no concern with Justin Herbert, throwing to, below 6 feet receivers. So gonna go with Luther Burden, give him another target for Herb. The O-line develop another year and hopefully I don't know what happened in that playoff game last year, but hopefully that doesn't happen again with two at least legitimate receivers now instead of Lad out there by himself. Next is the Packers.
Yeah, the Packers. I'm glad you made that pick before me because I was trying to resist the urge to take Luther Burden. Just because the Packers are already a team with a bunch of slot receivers, and I feel like that just would have added to the issues. And I don't. There's no more first round outside receivers that I'm seeing currently. So I'm looking towards. They've said they're moving past. They're looking to potentially move beyond Jair Alexander. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go with Ja Barron from Texas. Get him off the board. Yeah, Ja Barron play on the opposite side of somebody, whoever they putting back there these days.
Yeah, I don't know what the cornerback situation in the Packers is nowadays. Not thinking about it.
Yeah. All right. So, hmm. So this next pick may be a little bit of maybe. Well, I won't say a reach, but like it might be one of those where it's like he may not play as much. Well, yeah, may not play as much depending on how you feel about the people ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So if they didn't have Harrison Phillips or Jerry Tillery at D line, I probably would have looked either to go Grant or Walter Nolan here. But I think I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit.
Those names stopped you from drafting to D-lineman?
Well, because I feel like there's another player on the board who would probably provide them with more value potentially next year than them.
Okay,
Um,
let me hear it.
so the guy who is currently my corner, who is he? He's corner three, I believe. He's my corner three. A guy that Jalen JG has put me on to the last couple of weeks. Um,
What?
and
You watch his
Siobhan
tape?
Ravel, I believe he's a guy that could step in right away. I mean, they have Byron Murphy, but it looks like the other guy opposite him is Stephon Gilmore. So that's why I'm saying it may be a situation where he might not play right away. But I think he
which is
just
good
got
for
it in
him.
the long run.
Still
If
recovering
he's
from ACL injury that happened real early in the season, so he could be back at some point, if not the start of the season. But it's good to have some vets in front of him. I'm pretty sure Byron Murphy's still on the team, Pro Bowler. Got Gilmore still, got some other guys. So it's not really pressing for him to step in immediately, but for a 60 corner to move like he do, and he was really good before he got hurt. I definitely like this pick for them. Hey man,
and I feel like
hey
that's a
man, you
guy
make it
that would fit in Brian Flores' defense as well. So that's
for sure.
You took
This is
Ravel.
yeah.
yeah.
Ah, yes, good pick. He was
All
supposed
right.
to sneak to the Commanders at 29, but live and you
Yeah.
learn.
Anybody else you want to sneak to Commanders? Just so I'm aware.
Nah, bro, go ahead.
Well, he
My
already said
fault.
one guy, but
For my
I
boy.
won't say him.
Josh Simmons, huh? Anyway,
Nah, that's
receiver,
crazy.
guard.
They don't need
Phew.
no receiver now. They got Christian Kirk.
You're right. They do believe that's the answer.
I believe too.
I wonder where Stefan's going to end up. Is he coming? Is he going coming back to the DMV? Except not in the NFC version.
Oh.
The Ravens love them rehash receivers, man.
Because I mean,
But they
Diggs
I feel
might be
like
the best one they get.
you go
you
about to say
remember
I
the
feel
old
like
guy?
Zach and Caleb were asking for him for like the last like couple months of
But
the
these
season.
guys or Odell or Deshaun Jackson or the Dez Bryant or these are or guys. Come on now. Stephon Diggs will bring the new level over. But the good thing about that is though, they actually got actual receivers on the team if they brought Diggs. Because right now they have baby Steve Smith and baby Devontae Adams. So, you know, I niggas not fucking with Michelle Bateman on this joint. All right, I thought he someone put some people.
You
Devontae
mean
is
baby
crazy.
De'Ami Brown?
All right, anyway,
Yeah, that's baby
yeah,
De'Ami
looking at
Brown right there.
the Texans needs probably don't need a receiver. I'm gonna go Kendall Grant. I know interior online still ass because I think it was game versus the Jets. CJ Stroud was under fire, and it was like that pretty much the whole season. The Ravens, he was in hell. Ravens game on Thanksgiving in front of Beyonce, he was in hell. So games like that, it concerns me. Uh, honestly, Josh Simmons probably wouldn't be a bad pick, but I don't believe they need tackles. They need a center or a guard. I don't think there's any senior guard they would draft this early unless got any names, y'all let me know. I know Tyler Booker is probably the best guard, and he didn't really do too well at the combine. Um,
Yeah, I'm about to say
yeah, I'm still.
Tyler. Who else do I have on
I
the
didn't see.
board?
I didn't see no other. Yeah, the next interior line is 89, 100. Yeah, it's not exactly a good interior line draft.
Yeah,
So,
I think the
so
North
I'm not
Dakota
really
State guy they think is probably gonna be an interior guy, but I'm
a
not sure.
guard. This guy.
Yeah,
Let me see what is. They got his wingspan right. 6'6", 305. I mean, shit. If they say so. Uh, still, I don't know enough about him to confidently pick him, but I do know about Kenneth Grant and Derek Holmes. So I'm deciding between those two. I'm gonna go. I like Kenneth Grant, but I feel like he kind of benefited from playing next to Mason Grimes. So I'm gonna go with Derek Harmon. Either way,
Mm.
though, like either one of those picks can work. But I believe Derek Harmon did a little bit more on what the situation was for him compared to um Kenneth Grant.
Ah, Los Angeles Rams. Oh boy.
this could have been a Jackson Dart spot if things went differently.
I mean, it still could be, honestly. The Matthew Stafford era is looking like it's coming to a close. Do I do it?
God is good.
Should, should I do it to him? God said no. I ain't gonna do it to him. All right. I'm gonna look to build up this team for the one last run because that's what it's looking like they're gonna try to do.
Yeah,
Edge rushers, defensive line, no complaints there from me. The linebacker core, Brenda Song. I don't know if you all saw. She's a Rams fan. She has a very big issue with their middle linebackers and how they are used.
hmm.
Um, very knowledgeable on the Rams. So I'm going to take Brenda Song's word for it. She said they don't use their middle linebackers correctly, and they don't use them to stop the run. So I'm
BPA.
going to pick up Jahad Campbell and hope that they use him to Brenda Song's wishes to stop the run because Saquon Barkley should not have ran for that many yards. That's what Brenda Song said. What do I know?
And man, she know ball, man. She called out the defense coordinator by name, so she got to know something more than what I know.
She probably had Jaden Daniels QB1 last year. So what do we know?
Yeah, she said we would. She said we would beat the Commanders, but sorry to Jaden Daniels. So she knows ball. I can't fake.
Definitely would have been a
Um,
much closer game, but
I think we would have won that one. But hey, I guess we'll never know.
for sure.
so for this one, I think it's pretty simple. I think they're going. I think the Ravens at this point are looking tackle, unless they plan on bringing Ronnie Stanley back. But I don't. I don't. It doesn't look like they want to do that right now. I could be wrong, but it doesn't look like that. So it's between Josh Simmons and Josh Connerly for me. Um, it seems like Josh is the guy that people have more upside, believe have more upside, and
They're both named John.
Yeah, what's
oh,
Josh you talking about?
my fault. Josh Simmons seems to be the guy that people believe have more upside, and I think the traits are there. Christian is praying that I don't take him at 27.
I
Um,
didn't think it was going to make it this far. I'm going to be honest with you.
man, should I do it to
An
him?
injury. I ain't gonna lie. If they come out with reports saying he's like gonna be good to go by training camp, it's gonna shake how I draft. I'm not gonna lie. He's gonna be
Oh,
old tackle
I
too for me.
know. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just go ahead, Brian. Just rip the band-aid
yeah. But
off.
I hate
I'm
to
already
do it,
looking at
Chris,
different.
but yeah, Josh
But the
I'm
Simmons
other
is
looking
Josh
at a
the
different
27.
position
bro.
now anyway.
The other Josh that Mike Green trucked, he's there.
Right. Word.
Yeah, I'm about to say Josh
Nice.
Connerly isn't that bad. I think that he's got a chance to be be a good tackle. I think his athleticism is there. But yeah, Josh Simmons will be the pick at 27.
Neat. Let me update my board. Man. All right.
Last picks in the draft. Man, the Commanders being down here looks crazy, but yeah, let's do this.
What's on you next, JG?
Yeah. Good lord. Um, in theory, if everybody just comes back healthy and our team doesn't fall apart, they don't really need any of this stuff. But
That is true.
I think they really need a receiver. They got receivers. Don't really. I mean, linebacker. I feel like do they really need a linebacker? Unless I'm tripping, don't they still got Jack Campbell and I don't know what everyone is.
Malcolm
They do need a
Rodriguez or
line.
something like that, or is it somebody else?
Yeah, for somebody else, like they like the guys they got there. Unless I'm tripping.
Oh, Alex
Gonna
Anzalone.
go to
My
our
fault.
lads real quick and
Alex
take a quick
Anzalone.
peek at their depth. Oh, I mean, he's a guy. He's a guy. He's a guy. What they be saying? What the guy was saying on Sunday Football? Here's a guy that All right. Honestly, man, they need another damn corner because Terry Arnold, man, he might be garbage, but they don't have him as corners in need, so I won't reach for no corner. You know, Nick next to Aiden when he comes back healthy. Did you see that video of Aiden just like doing full out sprints on the field already?
I
No,
know they
he was
said.
like
I about to say. I
really
know they said
moving.
the Super Bowl was going to be a potential recovery time for him if he could, at best. So I guess it's not too crazy for him to be doing
And he,
sprints
he
right now. But
he was moving too for a guy that broke his leg not that long ago. He was moving pretty well. So now I'm debating between edge and linebacker. Now, still, like CT said, I know nothing about this Donovan guy, but I've heard all good things from the Twitter scouts. So I'm debating between him and Nick. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna trust PFF here, and I'm gonna pick the Donovan guy. I hope this ends up being true to make me look good. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Donovan.
Ah,
And oh boy, Commanders on the clock. Who'd have thought?
you know, I'm not upset about how the board shook up. So it could be worse. I got some corners here that I like because I like Benjamin Morrison. I just don't like Benjamin Morrison at 29. I like Maxwell Hairston, but he kind of scares me a little bit because he does seem like he's a bit of a speed guy who may not be the most refined in coverage. Um, I'm really leaning there currently. Tackle, you broke my heart with Josh Simmons. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I know it's a realistic possibility. We're just scouring the board. It's probably too early for another tight end, and I don't like Harold Fannin. His his movement. Uh, I'm not fooled by it. Not fooled by the movement. And then you look at receivers. There's no real first round receivers on the board there. So this is a spot where I ideally look to
Hmm?
trade back. But since that doesn't appear to currently be an option, of course,
Hmm?
I think I'm gonna go with Maxwell Hairston, corner out of Kentucky. I think I like Benjamin Morrison more, but just not at the spot.
Yeah, where's Benjamin Morrison? He way down there.
Do I like Benjamin Morrison more? Benjamin
You don't like
Morrison is young. He's younger too.
you're not
Ah,
you're not messing with Jada Higgins.
Benjamin Morrison is younger too.
You're not messing with old boy that Moss Travis Hunter.
See, that would be a nice
Benjamin,
pick.
Mo-
That would be a
you
nice
know
pick for the
what?
Giants at 34. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Benjamin Morrison.
You're not 34, 35.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go
you
Benjamin
want
Morrison. I'm gonna trust my heart.
man?
Whew.
I would have drafted a Florida State corner. But yep, good pick for you, bro. Brian, I believe you're on
Yeah.
the clock.
No, I'm just
Let's
saying
have more
Elegant
official.
35. I mean, I feel like that will solve our wide receiver 2 problem, but it's another combo for another day. Can I see the safeties real quick? JG.
For sure. Pretty sure it's Xavier Watson garbage, but yeah. Oh, that one guy that
Oh,
went crazy at the
Nick is
combine.
43. I thought he'd be higher than that.
Crazy
Um,
numbers.
I see it says D line, but I feel like interior D line is fine.
You
Linebackers,
think
I mean, we
so?
know what they got. Corners are good too, from what I'm seeing on the depth chart.
Hmm?
Um,
Their corners are good. I mean,
they have Benford and Rasul Douglas as their starters. I don't think that's stopping them from taking a corner, but
oh, no, they're good then. Forgot one of them got hurt, and then it got raunchy. He had that Florida boy in the game, and good lord, he was awful. Barbecue chicken alert. So,
yeah, we got a
but
pretty
what
good
can you?
nickel corner in Teron Johnson too. Let me shout him out as well. Uh,
Yes, sir. One of the best slot corners in the league, baby.
how do we feel about Greg Rousseau?
Pretty decent most years.
Yeah. Low 80s, high 70s.
I think the bigger issue is the other man they've employed on the opposite side.
You don't believe in AJ?
Run stuffer, not really a effective pass rusher. I think for what he is, though, I mean, for what they think he is, I think he's pretty decent. But in order to take that team to the next level, you need some explosiveness on the edge, and I think that's what they thought Von Miller was going to provide.
So
But
let me see the edges then.
that's not how that turned out.
Nick, yeah, I'm about to say Nick might have to be the pick here, bro.
You more London. I know that's what you think about. You think about London Jackson. Ain't that the guy that was slapping the bass kind of crazy?
Well, no, not the safety, Nick. That Nick. Shout out to the Nick that's at safety because I was thinking him too, but I think they would.
Nah, him, right? London Jackson ain't that the guy that was slapping the bass kind of crazy back in the day? I
Yes,
think that's what they need. I'm joking, by the way. Please pick Nick. I mean, Walter Nolan, man, he kind of explosive for a interior D. Ethan.
character.
See, I
Nah,
don't have about to say
right.
I'm thinking
Forgot.
about Walter, but I'm like they got Ed Oliver. I don't, and then Jordan Phillips is pretty good. I don't know. Again, that may not be stopping you from taking Walter, but I feel like they're pretty solid in D line. I feel like if anything, they will want either as their first round pick because you're measuring yourself against the Chiefs, especially after they made that trade last year and gave up and allowed them to take Xavier Worthy. I feel like you're either trying to get a top flight receiver, but then again, they do have Christian's well, two of Christian's hidden gems and Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. So I don't so they may be finding a receiver.
Man, they need a receiver bad then.
Man, they cheating off my draft board, man.
Oh,
There's a reason why that first need still receiver.
They
I'm gonna
nah,
tell
that's
you
not what that say, bro. That's not what that say.
that. First need still
so
receiver
they
for a
tried to bring in
reason, man.
Amari Cooper. That didn't help either.
Yeah, it's his fault. It's his fault.
They say, "Oh my God, can somebody help us at the X
They
position?"
need
Because
they
we have
need a wide receiver too. That's what the issue is. I mean, they need a wide receiver too. Yeah.
Cause I feel like because you, I believe Luther's still on the board and Trey Harris is another guy that'll look at a receiver, but I don't think they see them enough as a difference maker for them to be the first round for them to be picked 30. As crazy as that sounds. So yeah, I think I'm
You
gonna
want me to
go
come?
ahead and just take Nick Scourton for now. But honestly,
I like it.
anywhere on that D line, anywhere on that D line, and possibly even taking Nick as the safety from Texas A&M. I think that's a possibility too, depending on how they feel about their free safety playing full time.
Cool, cool, cool. Chiefs on the clock. O- Operation. Ooh, in my head, man, it's either Josh or you make a you give somebody what the fuck did you just throw that pass? Somebody next to Chris Jones.
Yep, give him
I'm
that help.
thinking, Kenneth Grant Warren, no man, they've been sliding for a minute. Um, does it really matter who you have on the online block from Holmes? Maybe. Yeah,
As
if you go
long as you
against
got
one of the great.
two above average tackles.
I mean, end of the day, man. Until it never really matter who you draft here. At O line, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, those rookies are not helping you versus that Eagles D line to begin with. So, gonna go ahead and go with hmm, Kenneth Grant or Walter. Character concerns. I'm gonna go with Kenneth Grant. Seems like a better locker room guy. And I got Grant and Nolan graded similarly as prospects. So now what's the defending champion? Philadelphia Eagles on the clock.
Well, this will be
You took
Cleveland's pick if
Would you
when
say,
people are
Hughes?
talking.
you took Kenneth Grant, correct?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right. Makes the decision a little bit easier here for the Eagles because Chauncey Gardner Johnson was tweeting earlier, uh,
Mm.
like they don't want him no more or something.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at safety. I'm looking at Nick
You
Emenwari.
know, be flaring up, bro.
Hmm.
So don't take it seriously.
Yeah. And then I look at their roster. It's one of the better rosters put together in the league. And there's not really any glaring needs. Wide receiver, sure, but I don't know if they may have Jahan Dotson graded better than some of these receivers that are currently on the board. And so they just might want to give him
Okay,
another
not all of
shot.
them. Not all of them.
And then they could lose Josh Sweat, which would be a big loss for them. And Brandon Graham is 84 years old.
He tore his
So
body.
I'm
You still
looking
got
at
Nolan Smith.
Landon Jackson. So I'm thinking between Landon Jackson, Nick Emenwari, and the CJ Gardner Johnson stuff is just speculation. So I'm gonna go with what I know. I know that they probably will need an edge rusher. So I'm gonna go with Landon Jackson. And he fits 4'3". He's a big edge rusher. Should be able to defend the run and the pass.
So how do y'all feel about this draft overall? Because it doesn't seem like there were too many things that like.
Tell you what, man. For our first draft, man, Basically, no warm up, just straight cooking. I feel like this is a pretty good draft, all things considered. Now, I know as the draft come closer and more reports come out about certain prospects' health, character, stuff, interviews, workouts, stuff will probably move, things will change around. But based on just like position to team, I feel like this is pretty similar to what we're gonna see on draft day.
Yeah, and I ain't start wilding yet, cause when we be doing our drafts, I normally have one little wild pick. I think today the closest thing to a wild pick was Colston Loveland going before Tyler Warren. But that's just my
That's
guy, and
That's your
that's been my
boy.
guy since last year's Michigan versus Ohio State game. I like the way he moved in comparison to Tyler Warren. And what I've read on Tyler Warren and what I've
oh,
seen is that against man, he's not necessarily the best option. You know, he's not the best route runner against man. He'll find a spot in his zone, and so that's great for a tight end, of course. But I think Colston Loveland gives me a little bit more juice, a little bit more wiggle in terms of the routes, and that's just what I need for a quarterback like Anthony Richardson. Somebody who just get open quick, get open quick, so I can have an option. Throw the ball, give me the ball, run up the field. Colston Loveland is my guy for that. Yeah,
Especially with
get
how
open
you
quick,
feel about the wide receiver core right now.
yeah.
quick, throw the
I don't
ball in.
love him, but I didn't love any of my options on the board, so I had to go with tight end.
Hopefully they give AD some
And
more snaps, man.
who they've been starting to tight end the last couple of years. We got to give my guy a real chance here.
Yo,
So
about to
this
say,
is the
we
last
tried to
chance.
give him Brock Bowers last year, but the Raiders messed that up.
I tried,
What
and
do
the
you
Raiders
mean
was
give
real
him a real
weird.
chance? Aren't all the Colts receivers like 6'2" and up? Isn't he still overthrowing them?
Well,
Nah,
Josh Downs ain't that tall.
I forgot he was even on the team, man. I don't think he played like that last season.
he's the best receiver on the team.
Because it's him, Alec
Josh,
Pierce, and then like after that it's like AD. But AD didn't get to play a whole lot.
you just completely wipe Pittman out of your memory. How's that
I
I
possible?
hate
forgot
him.
about
I
my
hate
fault. My
I
fault.
hate Michael Pittman so much. I hate Michael
Was he
Pittman.
hurt? Wasn't he hurt last year? I feel like he was hurt, or he
Yes,
just didn't have a
he
good
was hurt
season.
and played through it. I think he had like a broken back
Bro,
and
he's
ACL.
literally playing through it to make AR look good, and AR was still not doing the dirt.
That's why I
That was
forgot
for
JG. He
optics.
wasn't he wasn't as fantasy relevant as he's been these last couple years. Shout out to Michael Pittman though,
I don't,
playing through serious injuries.
This up
I
is
don't I don't like Michael Pittman.
mine on Thursday. That means new Severance is out. I need to watch that.
Yes,
So
I would
get
watch that, but my bedtime is coming up. So everybody, by the time this comes out though, I will have watched Severance. So I'm looking forward to watching Severance tomorrow once I get off work.
hmm
For thank you all for joining us. Happy early birthday to Sports Fan. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be his 20 something birthday. God bless those 20 somethings.
You're also
Yeah.
20.
But you're an older 20 something.
Yeah, go to hell. Let's start this up.
All right, that'll do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the first mock draft from Trace Triumph. We look forward to releasing more content, more deep dives, more positional breakdowns, different things. So be on the lookout for that. This is just the first of many for our draft season. Be sure to stay tuned for the next play.